What is up, everybody? Back again with another video, and this video is honestly long overdue, just like the other one, but this one, it has gotten to the point where I actually cannot physically remember if this one came from a Black Friday or a Christmas sale. But something I do know is that it did indeed come from a Jonak Toys. Jonak Toys, if you're not familiar, they customize a bunch of clone troopers, come up with clone upgrades, and furthermore, actually make custom Jedi and Sith minifigs, or even like characters such as Boba Fett and Jango Fett. Now, get into this video, I will actually open up the package, reveal what I purchased, give it an explanation as to why I purchased them, show them off in further detail, kind of give my thoughts and rundown of the figures, and at the end, actually give a 360 view of the figure. Anyways, let's get into this package and see what I got. So starting off here, the first thing that I actually realized I did get were some freebies, so might as well go over those. Now, a freebie I did get is a decal for a blackout, as you can see here at the top, 2020 Hauser, so therefore it's just Hauser, but pretty much just blacked out. Did not know I was going to get this, and I might as well open it up because, as you can see back here, looks like there may be a cloth that's added. I'm assuming probably it's a pauldron to include with Hauser if I were to actually decal him, but I do not decal anything if you haven't really caught on here recently, so I guess I would just find something to use this for. Honestly, I might be able to use it for potentially a stormtrooper in the future if I feel like just kind of making one like a commander. So at least I have a plan with that. I do have some decals or shadow decals from past purchases that I have not used and I've been meaning to sell. Hopefully I can find someone that will take them eventually down the line, or at least get motivated enough to list them up for sale. And that's not the only freebies. Actually, I did indeed get some more. As you can see, a lot more cloth pieces. So let's open on up. So right there, right off the bat, there's a card advertising Jonak Toys right there, but actually this one takes you to a decaling video on their channel, but just some advertisement, even more than already what this video is going to do for Jonak Toys right here. Now getting into the cloth, which I could potentially use, but honestly not a big fan of Jonak's cloth just because I prefer more sturdy material, not something I have to actually cut out myself. They do have an option where you can get stuff that is already cut out and hole punched. But for me, I usually go to Cape Cantina to get more sturdy cloth pieces, or sometimes CAC, but usually Cape Cantina is my first choice. But here is a bark strap as one of the cloth freebies. Then here is an actual pauldron. Let me flip it on over. So there you go, left pauldron. And then here is, wait, which direction is it going? All right, right there. Right pauldron, so that's funny, right and left. And this one actually is blue, as you can see. So actually I might be able to find a use for that one. I don't know, some of these I may or may not. And then another right pauldron, and it is kind of the lime green color, which is typically Commander Gray's color. So I unfortunately already have one, so I can't really use it towards him. So that one may be actually for sale in the future, just like some of these others. Now getting into the actual things I did indeed purchase. The most important part of this haul and the whole reason I'm making the video is indeed some figures. Now with the figures, let's just say I've been kind of looking at my Jedi. There are some figures I wish I really had, but honestly it is a cheaper route to get some custom ones. And in this case, they were a lot cheaper than the official Lego ones, and furthermore look a lot better, 10 times better if I put it that way. Anyways, get into it. The first one is a Jedi I have been really wanting, just because I think he's pretty badass looking, if I'm being honest. Has a lot of great detail, and honestly the Lego one is good enough, but pretty much you get an addition with this figure, which is printed arms, which the old or previous Lego version does not have, and that is Quinlan Voss right here. I think he's a very cool looking Jedi. Pretty much all these I'll just show them off and then build them all at once, and then get into further detail of what they actually look like. Here's Quinlan Voss, and as I mentioned, there are the printed arms. That one just flipped over, but there you go, you can see it right there. So Quinlan Voss is my first Jedi pickup that I really wanted. And then the next one is, I think I remember her name. I'm trying not to look. And that is Addie Galea. At least I believe that's her name. Something along those lines. I really went after just some unknown Jedi besides potentially the last one here, the unknown part as to a certain thing, which goes along with the title of the video. But anyways, yes, I did pick her up, and once again get printed arms just like all the other figures, for the most part by Jonak Toys, unless you do go after a non-printed arm version or figure. But as you can see, you definitely have a very nice hair piece there to go along with her, so that is a very nice. And I do indeed actually have lightsabers that I can supply them with using my own parts and pieces. And last but not least, as I mentioned, a certain feature that is unknown or a part of this character. Let's just say she's died time and time again. Cannot put enough emphasis on that. But enough with all those funny videos of her dying. It is indeed Shaq T. Many of us don't know how she died. She has many variations, and I'm sure it's been confirmed somewhere where she officially died, but that's just debate within the actual Star Wars community. So that's just funny to get into, but I decided to pick her up. Once again, the Lego version's super expensive, and this is more of, I think the only version of her is a Clone Wars version. And the eyes, most people really think they're cursed. I am more, lenient towards them. I understand the purpose, and it makes those figures unique by making them the Clone Wars versions. But this one is more of a realistic Shaq T. Whenever I get into actually building her and showing her off more, and just that nice piece right there, that is a very nice. And honestly, I think the skirt piece is very fitting for her character. Doesn't really make sense to give her actual legs. Anyways, let's get into actually building these figures. After building the figures, it is no wonder why I continue to go back to Jonak Toys time and time again. The prices of the figures are very nice and definitely beat the $200 or even $120 pre-ordered figs from many other customizers in my opinion. I feel like these just really keep up the tone of actually looking like official Lego figures without being super bulky or even having too much detail, which is something that they continue to improve on time again by upgrading their printers, and it is definitely shown here. Now, I'm not an expert on pad printed and UV printed, but here recently I did have a conversation with someone, and I believe these are actually pad printed, because pad printed kind of have more of that embossed texture. You can actually feel the texture and see the texture on the figures, and that is exactly what you see here. Now, something I'm even more impressed with is the fact that Adi Galaya, I'm sure I butchered her name, but something that I'm impressed with is the fact that her headpiece is actually an official Lego headpiece. And that really shows the extra effort they're willing to go and make this even more of an official figure. Now, when it comes to Shaq T, actually the headpiece is not official Lego. And I think that's also, you can kind of see it by the plastic that's used. It's a little bit more shiny, kind of has more of a gloss look to it, which kind of gives off that it's not official Lego. And something, when you actually look at Shaq T compared to some of the other figures, the headpiece of the red does not entirely match the red on the actual face print or the color of the actual head for Shaq T. And that is just one little gripe, but it's not the end of the world, and it's not super obvious from far distance, but definitely when you get to close range you can see it. That would be my only gripe, and some of that red coloring difference may just be because it is not an official headpiece and it is more of a non-Lego plastic, so that might be part of the reason. But nonetheless, I'm glad that they went the extra effort to print on a headpiece like that, or even go the lengths to find someone that would make the headpiece for them to make this figure, because without them I would be forking out a boatload of money for all 3 of these figures on the actual aftermarket, trying to get the official Lego versions. But getting these, in which they're actually way more detailed, look a lot more better, it is amazing. And furthermore, just because it is pad printed, I think I enjoy it more because you actually can see, for example, Adi Goliath and then Shakti, the lips kind of pop off from the head. Not super obvious, but just gives it kind of like a realistic look to it. I don't know, that may be kind of weird, kind of funny, but at the same time, it makes it more realistic and really just makes it seem more premium. So that honestly, at the end of the day, I'm really glad I picked up these figures. They have a bunch of detail and you should definitely add them to your own collection when it comes to that. And definitely for the price, I believe, honestly, I think I only paid around maybe $20-something a fig, or maybe even 22 after discounts and the sale that was going on. So at a price like that, you cannot pass these figures up. Anyways, let me get into my final thoughts on these figures and wrap up this video. I would have to say, when looking at the 3 over here down the desk and after analyzing them, I will honestly have to go with Adi Goliath as being my favorite. Once again, probably butchering her name just because she's less of a known character compared to some and compared to many, but I honestly just have to say, when looking at her, she's my favorite. She has nice arm detailing, she has dual molded legs, which is a big plus as well in the Lego community, and the fact that it uses the actual hairpiece for or from the actual Lego figure is amazing, and just the face print alone is another additional plus to the figure. I definitely think she is my favorite out of these 3, and honestly, if I had to go with second, Quinlan Voss is second, and third would be Shakti. Once again, probably just added another death to her story by making her last in this video out of my favorites. But anyways, that's going to wrap up today's review, or really, honestly, haul video. So if you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe down below for more future content. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out and have a good one.